All right, friends, it's Teen. I'm back with another video. It's on, guess who? JasonBlaha, Strength and Fitness, Baloney Fitness. Yes, the gym lifting, recruiting lifting slave. Again, man, we're going to review this video together. So, Jason, the gym idiot says, Blaha says, protein overfeeding for people who want to stay lean all year round. I don't understand. Protein overfeeding? Why do you have to overfeed yourself anything? Whatever, man. I don't know. This guy's crazy.
Hey everybody, it's JasonBlaha here, and I thought I would sit down and do another video for you guys and gals. Let me give you guys a forearm shot first.
I'm going to tell you what's going to happen to you. If you're an adapted lifting slave and you eat too much protein, if you overeat protein, you know what's going to happen? When they were telling you about mTOR being turned on all the time, and you lifting and overfeeding this protein, well, guess what's going to happen? You're going to accelerate aging. That's what's going to happen. You will accelerate aging rapidly. That's what really happens to these gym people. That's why their faces look old. You're stressing your body out for no reason. And the stress of the gym, opening a window for protein bologna synthesis and a window for protein breakdown at the same time you're breaking down. And all you're doing is replenishing the same protein that you lost. You were a working slave in a gym, paid to work for free in a gym to lift a heavy weight just so you could go home and overeat again, spend all your money. You want to go to the gym, work your body, spend all your money, overeat protein for no other reason, accelerate aging, get old, stress the fuck out of yourself, low testosterone, low sex drive, and then you eat the wrong foods even on top of it, whatever else you're eating. There's some shit that's like anti-nutrient or whatever. And then you're repeating the whole cycle again. And then you get frustrated, then you eat carbs again, you blow up the sarcoplasm with carbs, It's a never-ending cycle of failure, bro. And then you're like, I got good though at lifting a heavy weight. Yeah, for what purpose, bro? Well, for what purpose? Well, but I got stronger. I got stronger at lifting a heavy weight. Yeah, I got stronger at playing soccer. I got stronger at running down the street. I got stronger at doing all these stupid-ass things, get it? If it's a necessity, then do it. If you don't need it, don't do it. That's what I say. Listen to me. If you're not going to use it, then don't do it. When they asked James Bond, when the lady asked James Bond, she says, "Do you exercise?" He says, "Only when I need it. If I need it, yeah. Do you need it? I don't know. Do you need it? What do you need exactly? See what I mean? I only ever go to a gym if I ever need it, and that would be for regeneration or something like that. I want to build more muscle fibers, or maybe I want to condition myself or something. I'm not really sure. It really depends why I would go to a gym, and it's very specific, and I don't go there often. I'm not a lifting gym slave, bro.
Forearms are still on point. All right, let's talk a little bit about protein overfeeding. Do I think
those forearms suck? I think you need to go see West Coast Wolverine. He just talked about why you have problems with your elbows. And I would agree with him. I know people that have the same problems. But also, your joints can have problems because of oxalates. Oxalate crystals build up in the joints. And they can go in your muscle fibers. They go everywhere. And over consuming oxalates, eating an artificial diet is going to cause all these problems too. They cause all these problems in the joints. That's what happens. They cause gout and a bunch of other shit too.
Protein overfeeding is a viable strategy in place of even bulking and cutting? I'm going to go out on a limb and say,
again, let's bulk our body. Bulking is like another word for let's get fat. Let's eat shit and get fat. Let's get cut now. After we get fat, we have to go we have to go on a low caloric diet now, go back to the gym, do a bunch of exercises so we could lose all the fat that we gained now. What the fuck, man? Oh, that's a viable source of overfeeding on protein. For what purpose? For what purpose do you need to overeat protein? You're not damaging anything there. Hello? There may be some hypoxia and all that, but that's 32 grams is enough for that. A little bit of protein here and there, whatever you're eating there. Your body will tell you how much you need to eat because you'll be hungry. That type of damage. But if it's structural damage, that's totally different. Protein synthesis needs to exceed this breakdown. You will feel pain for many days in the beginning of the first week of some ultra structural muscle injury. But hypoxia and all that kind of other damage in your muscles, oxidation and hypoxia, you don't feel that. You're not gonna feel that, man. You're not gonna know anything. You're just gonna be exhausted or something. So you won't even know how much to eat, but you'll know. But anyways, your body will drive you to tell you exactly how much you need to eat of whatever.
Yes, in the context of if someone's goal is to try to get lean and stay lean, they're trying to keep a low body fat year round, or they're not wanting to track calories really tightly. They don't want to even eat particularly low calories, but they want to gradually get leaner. I think protein overfeeding works great. And
Why protein overfeeding? Why not just say protein underfeeding? How about protein underfeeding? Man, meat's just high in nutrients. That's all. That's what it is. This protein. What kind of protein? He didn't really tell you what kind of protein, but okay. Animal protein, man. All right, I'll suggest. Animal protein. You don't need to eat that much. Trust me, you don't need to eat that much.
in fact, I am borderline protein overfeeding right now, even on my current cut. Again, one reason that.
But what is the purpose of protein overfeeding on I'm getting cut, so I'm protein overfeeding. Well, there's no sugar, no toxins in there, right? So you should eat it. It's a good idea. Yeah, I could eat this animal food. Look, really the truth is you should be eating more animal fat as opposed to protein. It's not good to eat too much protein. The protein will be spared. Here's the thing. In muscle damage, if you are eating an artificial carb called potatoes, right, which is not your natural diet, you can add that in there. It will spare the protein that you're eating also to build the muscle. It will spare it because it's an energy source. It's an artificial outside energy source coming in. It's not based on ketones, but whatever. It comes in, whatever, it'll spare that. Get it? But also animal fat will spare that protein to build that muscle as well, the animal fat. But you need to make space as well, so you can do it a lot faster adding these complex carbohydrates like potatoes for what they call myofibrillar packing. Get it? So you make space if you're actually really into building muscles, real myofibrillar muscle. If you're into that, I don't know. But a fat diet, protein high fat, is really good for losing fat on your body. That's why I said I gotta start eating more animal fat so I could lose body fat while conditioning myself. And that will spare muscles as well. Yes, man.
Scale's been going down at a nice reasonable rate. I'm looking leaner week to
it'll spare the protein to build the muscle.
week because I'm eating over 300 grams of protein every single day right now. Right, so I'm keeping my So I'm keeping my protein super high, my carb.
Okay, 300 grams of protein. 300 grams of protein for somebody that's trying to get cut is not a necessity. It's not a necessity. It's not a necessity. It should be, again, it should be more animal fat than the protein itself. Get it? That's what it should be. And everything else should be cut out. And just drink water, preferably not tap water, really filtered, a lot of filtered water, at least 15-layer filter water.
Carbohydrates are moderately low, and I'm eating a lot of healthy fats. But as far as the protein overfeeding goes, it is a viable strategy for a number of reasons. I've talked to you guys in the past, and I've linked studies about protein overfeeding. In fact, my friend Alex Leaf, I'm friends with he and his wife Brianna. He co-authored one of the studies on protein overfeeding, right? So he did some of his advanced degree work there. And
what did he write about overfeeding? What would anybody write anything about an overfeeding? Here's some meat, overfeed. This makes absolutely no sense.
And, what they found was that all of their test subjects, when they did them on extreme protein overfeeding, and I think it was something like almost 2 grams per kilo. It was over 2 grams.
Yeah, not overfeeding. They put them on a carnivore or meat diet, protein diet, and they lost weight. Yes, I've seen that on, this show on TV or YouTube. A couple went in and they lost a lot of weight. Yeah, they did. And they didn't do anything. They didn't do much of anything and they lost a lot of weight. Came off naturally. because because their body had a chance to return to homeostasis. Look, if you're carrying unusually high amounts of body fat that wasn't your body fat to begin with when you were young because you're an ectomorph, then it'll go off because your body's returning to homeostasis because you're eating an artificial stupid diet. Get it, man? So all these people like Blaha, how did Blaha get fat? Because he got there by himself, by doing his crazy bulk fat diet, whatever, eating artificial food. And then he goes, oh, I lost all the weight after. Yeah, you lost all the weight because either you lowered the calories or lowered whatever you were eating, you ate less of it, and then you ate your natural diet for a while, or whatever the hell you're doing now, like you keep saying you are. Oh, I'm back on a natural diet, protein. Hello, you're going back to homeostasis. Your body is returning back to homeostasis. Anybody that induced fat, they got fat through an artificial diet, well, the body's out of homeostasis. And if you go back on your natural diet, guess what happened to all these YouTubers, all these women? Go on YouTube, go look, and you'll see. All these women, their bodies did what? Returned back to what? Homeostasis. Anytime you do anything artificial, your body wants to return to what? Homeostasis. Get it? Once you stop doing whatever it is you're doing there, killing your body.
Like 3 grams per kilogram of body weight or something, or 3.5, 3.4, something like that. So essentially for someone like me, it would be over 300 grams of protein, right? Because I'm walking around about 97 kilograms right now, 97 to 98. And yeah, so they found that the people all gained muscle and they all lost fat, okay? And a lot of people have speculated, and I've seen people like Knuckles and other people like in, his science blog, he's kind of written, I don't know that it's necessarily the big thermic effect that people think it is. He's like, I think it's because they're under eating. And there is very possibly that, because that is absolutely a factor, okay? Absolutely a factor. It is hard to reach a calorie surplus because, we have all these protein overfeeding studies like that, and we're like...
Again, you don't need a calorie surplus. If it was unnatural to begin with, it was created unnaturally, your weight, get it, eating an artificial diet. All you have to do is go back to eating your human natural diet, hunting, eating animals, and then your body will return to what? Homeostasis. Yes, it's happened to lots of women online. They're like, I've gone on a diet. You don't need to go on a diet. There isn't any, I'm going to diet. If you just lower the same foods that you're eating and lose weight that way to get your body to return to homeostasis, then once you ramp up eating the same foods, you'll get fat again. A lot of these people, they can never keep the weight off because they can't stop eating an artificial diet. And so they go back to eating this fake diet and bam, get it, bro? It's out of whack. It's out of homeostasis, which is a very bad thing, actually.
They added, 200 grams of protein a day to whatever they were eating and started losing body fat. Like we were talking...
Oh, man, this is not rocket science. Fuck, are really people that dumb out there or what? Like me personally, I didn't know too much about eating because, I grew up in, I grew up as a slave. My parents fed me a slave diet and everything. I was conditioned a certain way. So I had to go on my own adventure to see what these fake foods were. Well, it wasn't that kind of food I was eating. I was eating the fruits and vegetables. I had those videos because I didn't know what to do there. And it was mostly fruits at some point or whatever. I didn't even like vegetables. And so I still ate meat and stuff, my natural diet, but the fruits almost destroyed me because the fructose, it's very destructive. This type of sugar called fructose is more destructive than other sugars. You understand me? They're all made up the same. Just some are more destructive than others. And if you refine fructose, it could be even more destructive. So when you go to McDonald's, all the sugar that's in there, the syrup that's in there, it's fructose. It's processed fructose. It is so high that it kills your mitochondria and it'll destroy you.
People on moderately high protein diets already, and then tried to keep their other macros the same. So they just have them force feeding protein shakes, right? So taking protein shakes and adding like 200 grams of protein every day, which were supplied, and have them try to continue to eat the same diet and macros they had been eating. They all start losing body fat. But people have speculated it's probably because all of a sudden they can't overeat anymore. Okay? People were at maintenance and then they're in a deficit. Yes, possibly because of the thermic effect of the protein.
Listen to all this bullshit he's talking about. Maintenance over this, that. He's making all this shit up, man. This is garbage. Just fucking eat your natural diet. Shut the fuck up, okay?
But also the satiety. In other words,
yeah, all these fancy words, the satiety, this, nutrient partitioning, yada, yada, bullshit, yada. Just fucking stop eating that shit. Eat your natural diet, dude.
if early in the day and you're not eating a junk food diet, you're
The word junk food doesn't exist in nature. None of these things that Blaha says exists in nature. They only exist in his fantasy world, in the artificial world called the city, or wherever the fuck he lives, man. Some weird La La Land. He lives in La La Land, so he has to talk to you in La La language, get it? So you can understand the fake language. He can't speak in natural fucking the natural language because he's such an unnatural fucking moron, injecting unnatural steroids, doing unnaturally lifting man-made fucking metal off the floor consistently, doing shit all day, eating shit, man-made engineered food, man-made processed food. Jesus, he's the most unnatural fucking whatever guy on the internet. Slave, lifting slave, gym slave.
slamming 150 or 200 grams of protein from shakes early in the day, you are not going to get hungry.
Again, these shakes, do they exist in nature? There's no shakes in nature, so why eat them? Why eat them? What's the purpose?
Okay, you are not going to get hungry. In fact, this is my solution for my binge eaters as a coach. I have someone who really struggles with binge eating. I'm like, get rid of all the junk food in your house. Keep your fridge filled with Greek yogurt, lean cuts of meat. I don't care if it's lunch meat, grilled chicken.
Again, yogurt, it's man-made. Don't eat any yogurt.
Breast, turkey, fish, lean meat, fat-free, high-protein dairy like Greek yogurt, protein shakes. Keep piles of that stuff around, and every time you feel the need to binge.
No protein shakes. They're filled with sugar, maltodextrin, and a bunch of other sucrose and shit. No, I don't eat any of those protein shakes. And yeah, I would say eat meat, but it doesn't have to be lean. There should be animal fat in there. That's what makes you super healthy. There's vitamin D and animal fat and a bunch of other nutrients. You need them. And there's a lot of collagen in there and stuff, man. It's all good for you.
Go force yourself to eat some of it. Eat it until you are.
Every month, this Airbnb.
That stops the binge problem real quick on a cut. Stops it real fast. It's a completely viable strategy. The downside is the cost. But here's what I would say to people. If you're going to live a lifestyle to where you are very concerned with your physique.
Again, the cost. All this just to do what? All this just because so Blaha could show his physique to a bunch of guys, a bunch of dudes, and be they're over his physique. I gotta tell you right now, I may have a physique, a bodybuilding physique, but that's not like my goal. I was like, I was trying to look like I was trying to get a certain look. The look is the byproduct of building muscle. But my whole goal was to build myofibrillar growth. My goal wasn't to go to the gym as an adapted lifting slave so I could build these artificial sarcoplasmic muscles, get it, for show. You understand me? Or I had to get a forced production. I didn't go there to lift a heavy weight because I was looking for, I have to be the person that could lift the heaviest weight in the gym and be a small artificial strong guy, pretend strong guy, artificial muscles, whatever, man, and creating artificial strength. I went to the gym because I was trying to increase my natural strength. I wanted to see how many myofibrillars could you grow to increase your natural strength. And believe me, the more myofibrillars you grow, from my experience when I got super big and strong, is it makes you into a genetic beast, bro. You just fucking super strong. But once you reach the goal, it's over. Get it? I was done with that. I don't know what your goals are. Not everybody doesn't do the same goals forever. It's time to move on and do other shit. You understand me? Yeah, I still might go to a gym here and there, maybe condition myself and go there for some regenerative demand purposes, but that's about it. I don't want to go there to destroy my body or lift a crazy heavy weight. You understand me? I'm in my late 50s. I don't give a shit about any of that. I want to look younger. You understand me? People look at you, and in the street they treat you how they see you. It's good to have a younger face and a younger body. That's about it. I don't want to accelerate aging or destroy myself, put artificial food in me, carbs and all that, and do crazy shit like Blaha.
You know, if it's
Have you seen what he looks like? His cut, droopy legs, sarcopenia, all these problems, loss of hair. He looks like the Hunchback. Come on, this is ridiculous.
extremely important, you probably should have other stuff in your life sorted already. So I want to be clear on that. If you're not already financially stable, then maybe your physique shouldn't be your top priority. Just throwing that out there. You know, so the same.
Yeah, your health should be your top priority, and maybe making some money so you can afford to that lifestyle, looking pretty and good. Yes, that would definitely help. Yes.
Thing I would say, a lot of my people who can afford my coaching, they can absolutely.
Usually people, when they get to a certain age, that point when they are interested in all that, because they're old already, they usually have money by that time, Blaha. Unless, of course, they're like you, broke in a room there, renting with the landlady, screaming at you. Why are you screaming on a camera? She allows you to use her garage. You're lucky. I guess you pay for that too, extra? Is that extra, or is that part of the room rent here?
Afford to do that, you know.
Like seriously, Blaha lives in a room, man. He lives in a like 6 whatever. I don't know what this room is. 12 by 6 or something. It's a tiny little room. All this stuff is in there. You understand me? And his gym equipment, which all he had in his previous apartment, when he did have an apartment, he went completely broke. He moved into a room, and then the landlady let him use the garage now. He has all this stuff in the garage. Think about it. He's moved down. He's not moved up in life. He's moved down. He's not like Greg Doucette. Greg Doucette has moved up. He's got like fucking, I don't know, a McLaren and cars and Mercedes. He bought a house and everything. He's got a lot of stuff going for him. He's moved up. You understand, from his position, but Blaha, he's moved in the opposite direction down. Oh my God.
In fact, eating a healthy diet costs more than my coaching does. Like, I've had a few people like, well, your coaching is expensive at $300. Really? For online, it might be slightly higher than average, but my people get amazing results, number one. Number two,
like client Michelle, she's getting amazing results. A zero. Ha, not.
you look at the cost of a personal trainer, you're not going to get in-person personal training for $300 a month. People are paying sometimes.
And who needs one of those? Who needs them? I never used a personal trainer. I learned on my own. Only crazy people need that, or people that want to throw their money away or waste it, or they got nothing better to do.
$50 or more per session, 3-4 sessions a week. I know people who are.
Besides, who needs them now? All you have to do is go on YouTube now. They have everything on YouTube. I used to buy, listen, I bought magazines back in the day, okay? Muscle Mag and all that. It had everything in there. People bought magazines, and you looked in there, you read it, you saw the exercises. They would have this centerfold with all the exercises and show stuff and whatever. They were really nice magazines, you know? They were really good. So who the fuck needs any other training, this fucking coach and all that's garbage?
Spend $1,000 or more a month for a personal trainer. So just an FYI, not that expensive. The same thing in the grand scheme of things, if your physique is a priority to.
And then they'll make you put in some phony muscles and probably make you get really skinny. Or either they'll make you really skinny to pretend like, oh, look, see, you look cool. Or they'll like load you up with like glycogen with artificial diet and blow you up and say, look, you built muscle. Or they'll put you on a 5x5 or 5x3 so that you can increase your force production and lift a heavy weight, and they'll make you into a lifting slave. So they either make you into a gym slave, a lifting slave, or a physique slave, or whatever.
Well, hopefully you've got the other stuff in your life squared away and you're financially stable, or else it probably shouldn't be that high on your list.
That's like Blaha. He's a physique slave now.
Just saying. Number two, it's about prioritizing. So yes, protein overfeeding can cost a little more, but is it necessarily that expensive if you're doing shakes? I mean, realistically, you're just trying to protein overfeed by adding a bunch of shakes early in the day. I mean, you're still eating a decent, balanced, healthy diet throughout the rest of the day with your fruits and vegetables and whole foods. Not really that expensive.
Fruits and vegetables, they're full of sugar. Wow, fuck would you eat them? They're anti-nutrient. Give me a break, man.
Not if you buy in bulk. It really isn't. Tell me 3 big tubs of protein a month. Not that expensive. Not that expensive in the grand.
Fruits and vegetables are made up of sugar, water, and poison, toxins. That's it. And fiber. Fiber, sugar, water. That's it. That's really what's inside there. If they're telling you there's like minerals or vitamins inside fruits and vegetables, they're lying to you. It's a lie. Because if that was true, then the vegan compilations wouldn't exist. Because all these so-called vegan, raw vegans, they went on that shit, and guess what happened to them? They started falling apart. They started falling apart. Their reserves were going. The reserves inside their muscle cells were all going. Their hair started falling out. Their nails. They became menopausal. Their skin, everything. Their teeth were falling out. They started disintegrating. Get it? They were deteriorating fast. And because there's no nutrients in plants. It's just sugar, water. It's energy. The energy was the driving force. It was keeping them alive. But eventually they were deteriorating because your cells, they live on nutrients. They want nutrients. They don't want that. They don't want that stuff. The water helped to preserve and all the other stuff. But eventually they're deteriorating. Go see vegan compilations. You'll see.
Scheme of things, people. So you've got to look at it from that perspective. But back over to that point, protein overfeeding, yeah, it will tend to just enhance body composition. Because here's the thing, even if it ends up forcing you into a deficit, but you're training hard, you're still getting that extra amount of protein. It tends to still create an anabolic situation. If your protein intake is very, very, very high, it tends to offset a lot of the negatives of even weight loss. And we know in studies, even on regular protein intakes, recomposition is possible. It's just slow, right? We see it in advanced athletes. Multiple studies over the decades have shown intense training protocols to advanced athletes cause very small amounts of recomposition over time. They're gaining muscle and losing fat.
Recomposition, gaining muscle and gaining fat? Gaining muscle and losing fat? They were gaining muscle, sarcoplasmic muscle, and losing fat. Oh, okay. Whatever.
Minimal changes in scale weight. It absolutely is possible. So if we know that's possible, and then we know the higher protein can offset some of the...
You don't gain muscle, you regenerate muscle, but you could gain sarcoplasmic muscle, artificial, yes. They hypertrophy through glycogen, yes.
Negatives of the deficit and still allow some nitrogen retention and muscle gain. Yeah, the massive protein overfeeding, if it forces...
Nitrogen retention and muscle gain? The only time you need to have this nitrogen balance is when muscles are fucking necrotic, in a state of necrosis. That's the only time you need it. You don't need it. I wouldn't say you need some protein for if you're a fucking lifting slave and you're suffering from oxidative or hypoxia damage. That's totally different. That's through oxygen deprivation. You're breathing heavy going to the gym. That causes somewhat of some damage to muscle fibers, but that's not based on necrosis of the muscle. It's bullshit.
Is you into a deficit, you're still going to be able to gain muscle. It's not going to be as fast as if you did a true bulk, but you're still gaining muscle. And if it's
true bulk, you're still gaining muscle. What kind of muscle are you gaining exactly? How does the body gain muscle, Blaha? How does it build muscle? How does it build muscle? There's only 2 types, myofibular and sarcoplasmic. So I guess it's sarcoplasmic because you're gaining muscle. You're not fucking damage repairing and remodeling. I just told you it's really hard to do that. Most people just get the newbie gains, and after that, repeated bout effect kicks in. Boom, there's no more fucking muscle, bro. The only muscle they're gaining is sarcoplasmic.
Forcing you to lose fat, essentially people will recomposition towards closer to a body fat they want to be at. And they can usually do so without that strict tracking on calories. Why? Because they are always going to have enough protein in their diet to be gaining some muscle, barring unless they're down to a very big deficit, right? Unless they're in a very big deficit. But the protein itself is going to, through appetite and thyroid effect, tend to create a deficit anyways, just and in the way it affects nutrient partitioning. So yeah, protein over
Deficit, nutrient partitioning, nice fancy words. They mean nothing. Nothing, bro.
feeding can absolutely be a viable method for people who want to stay lean year-round.
Why doesn't he just say eating your natural diet? Meat diet. Why can't he just fucking admit it, Blaha? When you eat your natural diet, meat, right? Protein, meat. Guess what happens? The body returns to what? Homeostasis. So originally your body fat, where it was as a young person, right? You as a young person, how it was, if you were ever young, I don't know what you were. So if you started out lean when you were young and your body looks a certain way, if you go back on your natural diet, guarantee you it will turn back. But he can't admit to say that. He has to call it protein overfeeding. What's the purpose of overfeeding? There's no damage there. You're not building muscles. You're not building muscles because you're overfeeding on protein. Muscles don't store protein as energy, dude. They fucking store glycogen as energy in the sarcoplasm. That's what blows up muscle fibers. That's why that guy called it the balloon method. The fuck, man.
All right, guys, well, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.
Man, it was so uninformative, it made my head hurt. He can't admit that it's fucking carnivore diet. Just say it. Carnivore natural diet is what's going to make you restore your body to homeostatic state. That's it. That's it. That's all you have to say. But no, he had to talk overfeeding protein. He couldn't tell you straight up because it hurts. It hurts, man. It hurts. Because if you do eat this so-called protein, right, overfeeding, remember what he said. Oh, it's the cause of all mortality, heart disease, and it causes diseases, meat and all that. Then he's telling you to overfeed on it. What the fuck? If it's causing you cardiovascular disease and every other disease and all that. And then he's all over the place, flip-flopping here, there. But fuck, man, this is bullshit. It was so uninformative, man. I'll see you in the next video. Like, subscribe. Support the channel. It really helps. A comment down below. I'd like to know what you think about that. See, man. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao, man. This is crazy shit. Bye.